Back in the day, when I was a child, my first introduction into Japanese anime was through Dragon Ball Z. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Amin Parker. When I was a child, I remember watching Dragon Ball Z with my brother, Rasheen Parker, and my friend named Brian Polk. Actually, Brian Polk was the friend of my younger brother, Rasheen Parker, but I met him through my brother, and at that point, we started to follow Dragon Ball Z. Back then, Dragon Ball Z was exclusively for the Japanese market. So it was not released in America on television. We got a hold of Dragon Ball Z through import dealers who were importing the series from Japan. So everything was in Japanese. That also opened the door for me to want to learn the language. But back then, Dragon Ball Z was one of the best animated shows out there. If you like martial arts, if you love Bruce Lee, watching Dragon Ball Z back then really quenched your thirst for that type of entertainment, especially coming from an animated show. Goku was amazing, a very likable character with a very good heart who had to defend planet Earth from all sorts of evil aliens and evil martial artists, just all sorts of evil in general. The show had a great cast of characters, wonderful supporting characters, from Vegeta to Trunks and Piccolo and so forth. Just amazing voice actors from Japan. The Japanese voice actors are way better than the American voice actors. Although this could be just an opinion, because that's how I got introduced to the series in the first place, with through the Japanese aspect, the Japanese voice actors, the Japanese soundtrack. A lot of that stuff changed when American companies decided to bring the series over here. Nonetheless, the Japanese voice actors was amazing. Goku's voice always sounded like a baby. Even when he was a grown man, his voice was always like a baby. I believe a woman actually is his voice actor. You know? Nonetheless, Vegeta's voice was awesome. He always had this strong but very serious voice. Trunks had a great voice, a very young, vibrant voice. Piccolo had a very dark, a very serious voice, just like Vegeta had the same type of voice as well. Very serious. Also, Krillin also was in the show. I can't really comment too much on his voice. It didn't really stand out to me back then, but yeah, Goku's voice was very unique. You'll never hear a voice from a main character like that ever again. a very strong, muscular character like Goku, right? With a baby voice. It sounds strange, but that's how it was. Animation was superb. The fight scenes were amazing. Dragon Ball didn't really dwell too much on the story aspect of things. So it didn't have a really deep storyline, but the fight scenes is what everybody really was drawn to. People wanted to see the martial arts. Because the artist that did the show was superb in that category. They knew how to make great fight scenes. And that's my time with Dragon Ball Z growing up. I had so much fun with it. Actually, the Japanese manga could very well be better. I did own a lot of the manga. And the manga it had more to it than the anime series had. Nonetheless, guys, I'm going to wrap this up here. I do recommend Dragon Ball Z to anybody out there who is interested in Japanese anime. Keep in mind, this show is old now. Okay, so don't expect the greatest looking animation in the world at this point. But if you want to see a show that's very, very well done, that has some of the best fight scenes you're ever going to find out there, then give Dragon Ball Z a chance. You will not regret it.